Here we've got the Charger 500 back in my shop. It's not even a day, we've got it here, and we've already started working on it. You know, when you got a car in my shop, and you got a team, you got the parts, you don't kill any time, guys. You just attack and hit it. Let's go.
Welcome back to Nick's Garage. Returning viewers will know that Nick has been working on a very special restoration project. An original owner 1969 Dodge Charger 500. This week, Nick got the car's body back from the paint shop, and he's not wasting any time getting started on the reassembly of this emblematic and rare muscle car. Every nut and bolt is being brought back to original or better condition, and Nick has a team of the best helping him get the car back together. The order for today: installing a fresh headliner in the 500. A critical step that requires hard work, patience, and years of experience to pull off correctly. But Nick has a secret weapon: Ivan. His passion for upholstery and interior work rivals Nick's passion for engine building. And today, with Robert's help and a little luck, they'll be taking this gorgeous car one step closer to completion.
Here we are, another day at the shop on Nick's Garage. And as we all know, we've got the Charger 500 back in the shop. And luckily for me, if you see this van here, Ivan is in town to install the headliner. And you know, it's not an easy job to do something like that. It's something I don't do, so Ivan's a specialist on it. He's the man who's done the seat covers for the car also for my Challenger of my Kowalski. And if you guys take a walk in the back here with me, I love these snowballs. That's one thing good about the winter. Anyways, let's go in the back. I've got Robert, Ivan working on the car with me today. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say this is the engine that's going to be installed in the Charger 500. Belongs to Eugene. A lot of you guys, if you're not up to date with the car, this is Eugene's 440 that belongs to this Charger behind us. We're doing a full restoration on it. Eugene has bought this car brand new in 1969 before he got drafted to Vietnam in the war. And he's last driven this car in 1974. And the last time he's seen this car from storage place to one place to another was in the 90s. So here we are today. We finally got the car here in our shop. We've got the old headliner there. I got Robert and Ivan inside the car working on it. So let's take a look and see how it's going. Boys, how's it going? You guys process? Yeah.
It's a different car, so we're just gonna.
Is it easier than my Challenger, or this one is more difficult?
It's a little bit more intricate.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out the rear window what happens, and we'll get it done.
I got them both in the car today. I'm trying to pick up the pace on the car because we had it for a while and we want to have it ready for early spring. So I've got them on board. We're slowly but surely putting it together. This is time consuming. It is a big job. If you take a look, there's a lot of angles to look at, bows, clips. I want to make sure that when it's in place, it's got to be nice and solid. This is specialty work. Got to make sure all the clips are in nice and tight. You put your bow ties in there to lock in place, or should I say your bows. They tie to the ends of the roof. If it needs any trimming, got to take your sweet time. You cannot make a mistake, but once you cut it wrong, you scrap it. So then we got to buy another headliner. And this is a unique piece because of the Charger 500, which goes all the way back here. We also have a rear speaker shelf, which is a long model for the Charger 500. And slowly but surely, we'll get it together. So, we want to start by doing the headliner, putting the dome lamp, and then after that, we can start putting all the trim on the inside and slowly put the whole car together. But right now, my concern is to do the interior. We'll get to the suspension. We still have a few pieces on order, but they'll get done. And we've got a list here, Robert put up. There's a lot of little things to do. But you know what, as we got the car here now, I can see what we need to get to order or something, whatever. And my job is right now, for the next few days, I want to order as many pieces as I can. Sometimes you don't know what you need until you start working on the car physically. This is not very often we do B-bodies every day here, but surely we'll get it done. And there you have it, Eugene's Charger 500, 1969.
As the guys carefully fit the new and reconditioned pieces to the car, they're also careful not to toss out the old parts too quickly. Even in this advanced state of deterioration, these original parts can tell a story about how they were fitted back in the day.
A lot of detail in this, eh?
It's a particular car, so
yeah,
you don't lose it every day.
I know you're the man, Ivan. I see the way you did my Challenger, so now you're doing the Charger 500. It's going to be pretty unique.
As you can see here, it's starting to place itself. So that's a good thing.
I'm not going to disturb you.
We'll make it work out.
I'll let you do your job.
All right.
I know you're concentrating, so I won't disturb you. Just keep up the good work.
Thanks, buddy.
It's going good. And it's a very long roof compared to my Challenger, isn't it?
A little bit.
And we have the seats done. The next thing we know is we got to do the headliner.
I said that what Ivan is doing is art.
It is. It is. This is craftsman. I know nothing about the headliners, but I know one thing. You got to know how to put it on. Make sure there's no stretch marks, nothing. It's nice.
Wrinkles has to disappear.
That's right.
So we do it step at a time. One step at a time.
There you go.
How did you get started in this business, Ivan?
Passion. Passion for the automobile. Nothing else. And being a crafty guy.
Restoring a car takes a lot of pieces, takes a lot of talent, expertise, and time. You just can't rush in, and you got to do it. If I have someone's an expertise on a certain job, I call him in, like Ivan. He's the man. He'll do it right. I got Robert likes to do all these little details with himself, with myself also, which is pretty good. We had Roger did the paint work. We did the engine, and now we got to put it all together, get it ready for early spring. The next thing is, once we have the headliner in place, we're going to install the dash and then put in the windshield. But in the meantime, let's get the headliner done, because it's been on my case for a while now. That it's been here for a few days, and I even came in already, tacked it, and hopefully it gets done very soon.
If you're thinking about tackling the old bow-style headliner in your car as a fun project, think again. This is hard work.
The problem is not the headliner. It's the fact that I abandoned my yoga classes.
I know I'm getting a sore back just watching you.
Oh yeah.
Even with his years of experience, Ivan knows that carefully massaging a piece of crumpled vinyl into a series of perfect taut roof panels takes all day to do right.
With the booster redone, wiper motor, heater box, wiper linkage, pedals. Stefan was one of the guys who used to restore parts for me, but lately I believe he's retiring, and I was lucky enough to get it done this year with him on this car. He used to specialize in the wiper motors, which was another friend of mine, Giuliano. He used to do it. He used to team up with Stefan and work together. Now that Stefan retired and Giuliano passed away years ago, I gotta find a new source for that. But you know, doing these cars as a full restoration is getting harder and harder for me. It's a lot of work, a lot of detail to do, a lot of parts running around, a lot of people get involved. But it's hard, you know. I keep telling people it's my last car restored in my shop. Then they say I lie, because the next thing you know is I'm starting with another project. But you know what, right now my mind is to focus on this one. I did my Kowalski car a couple of years ago, and right now my mind is on Eugene's Charger here. Yeah, so it will be nice when it's done. Now we got snow outside. We have a few months of snow ahead of us. So now's the time to finish off putting this car together before we deliver it to Texas. But right now we just gotta get it done. Putting it all together, I have no worries whatsoever. The only thing is I just hope if I need a certain item or a certain part that I need to order it, and hopefully it's not back order or cannot find in a global situation we have here. And everything looks good. I've got a lot of pieces, got a lot of things to look at. Got parts left and right for Robert and for myself to put together. I've got Ivan right now in the car working on the headliner. Seats are ready, carpet is here. We have all the electricals. Engine and transmission is ready. Suspension, I got most of the parts. I don't think I have any issues. Should be going smooth. The only thing I don't have yet set up is the exhaust system. That's gonna go from the headers right up to the back chrome tips. That's the only thing I'm left at the end. So, but in the meantime, that'll be the last thing done on the car. I still have to put the glass together and the dash pad, and of course the whole cluster and the whole dash, I should say, which we're gonna have brought in very soon. So the exhaust is the hardest thing to do, I believe. I don't know if it's gonna be ready-made. I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. I'm gonna talk to Eugene on it. When we get to that stage, I'm gonna start to get all the parts and of course put it on. So then we could just finally turn the key, get it started, and hopefully it sounds good, and then take it for a drive. You know, I remember installing the glass in my Challenger on the left rear quarter glass. I was putting it in place, and as I was tightening a couple of screws, it just shattered on me because I did something wrong. So putting the glass in the doors, in the quarter panels, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta make sure, because once you make one mistake, your glass is gonna break on you, and then you gotta search for another piece, especially when they're genuine pieces. On this car here, we got all the original pieces. We are just gonna clean them and put them back in place. We know exactly what to do. So Robert and I, we're gonna do it together, and hopefully it goes well. You know, this car was only driven for 5 years. Eugene last driven it was 1974. So ever since then, it's been in storage from one place to another. And the last time he's seen the car was in the sometime in the 90s. Not exactly sure what year in 1990s. Then after that, it went in storage, and then we pulled it out 2 years ago from Ontario, California, picked it up from there and have it shipped here and torn apart, sent out for dipping, then sent out to Rogers to get painted, and right now it's back in my shop to be assembled. You know, I've seen a lot of Chargers second generation come in and out of my shop, but I've never seen one with the center body line like this, so razor sharp like the 69500. This is something very unique on a Charger. It is right across the whole body, and I look at it and I've seen a lot of Chargers second generation. They're probably almost blended flat, but in this case, look at it, you guys. What Roger did was a great job, but then again, it was all the original sheet metal that came with the car. When people look for details, this is what you gotta look at. You know, you gotta look at all these little details. Look at that. You know, inside the door, the latch, the screws. This is what's called detailing. Everything counts, you know, every clip, spring, retainer, screw. It has to be detailed. You know, you wanna make sure it's, when you put it into place, that it tightens. It's also doesn't become rust. You gotta use the proper screw, the right retainer. Anywhere you go with, if it's dealing with glass, hardware, roof, or engine or suspension, you gotta have all the correct bolts. Because if you got the wrong bolts, it kills the look of a car. So you wanna make the car or the screw or the hardware look exactly the way it came from the factory. on my 71 Hemi Cuda, I installed a decal on the billboards on the 71 Cuda, which is goes across the whole quarter panel and 1/3 of the door, which I installed when I was back in the mid-70s. I remember buying those decals brand new from Chrysler and Martin Motor Company in Plattsburgh, New York, because they were not available in Canada at that time. It was back in 1974, 1975. I remember paying $86 for the 4 pieces. Then I brought it home that weekend, put it on the car, done it all by myself, and you know what? It looked great. And still today, that 71 Hemi Cuda, those decals are on that car. If you guys ever seen this car anywhere in the US, wherever it is that I've sold it back in the year 2000, that car is still there with those decals. And those decals are not reproduction, they're straight from Chrysler. If I look very good in my office somewhere, I still have the original invoice to those decals. I remember paying $86 US. And back then, dollar US, dollar Canadian were the same amount of dollars equal. You know, it may look finished to you guys, but there is a lot of pieces to get done before it gets done. Long way to go. Just the doors themselves, the amount of pieces that go inside. Then we also have the original door panels, which are pretty good shape, which we are going to reinstall all the same glass, all the same interior, except for the seat covers. We got a new carpet. The headliner will be replaced. The door panels are going to be the same. The rear quarter panel inside panels will be the same. We got a new speaker shelf. But besides that, it's going to look good. We've got a list there, what we got to do. Sometimes maybe we missed a couple of items. Maybe something might be in the wrong order. But it doesn't matter. It is a basic list what goes through doing the car. The last one is the road test. That's where I come in. Once the car is running, I'm going to go get some fuel, put some in the tank, and then turn the key over and see how it goes. And you know what? I can't wait for that day. Let me tell you. And I'm sure Eugene's waiting for that day also. It's impressive sometimes you watch how others work on their specialty work. You know, I've done a lot of jobs and you know, a lot of people look on me. Now I understand. I've got Ivan and Robert going through inch by inch on the headliner. It's pretty interesting. Every little inch counts. And you know, you gotta do it right. You don't wanna mess it up, because then if you do mess it up, you gotta replace the headliner, start all over. There's another day's work. But you know what? They're doing fine. I'll stay quiet, I'll get out of their way, and let them do their job. You know, this charger, back in the day, they had a headliner made out of a vinyl material, and they had bolts going through, 5, 6 bolts going through the ceiling and hanging it up in place. and then glue and stitch, or whatever you want to call, clip around the edge where the sun visors go, where the moldings go. And then you got a 73 Duster that I bought brand new back in 1973. Was one big cardboard piece that you just stuck it up one piece with a dome light in the middle, and it's done. So simple. But this is a challenge. And it's, you know, if it's been taken care of, it can stay for a long time. I know some old cars still have the original headliner on, it's still solid. Then you have these other cars that are like a one-piece cardboard. Within years later, they come down. Why? I don't know. But you know what? No matter what you do, you got to do the job correct. And in this case, on this Charger 500, we're taking a sweet time to do it right. And this is the old piece. It's kind of rough looking, but you know what? We got a new one in place. Every inch counts, you guys. You pull it, you cut it, you trim it, and you glue it. Time consuming, but it looks good. Now that we got the car in the shop, we can keep going with it. Right after the headliner, we're gonna start doing the interior. We're gonna put the panels, the glass, or whatever, the glass first I should say, the moldings inside, the trim, the back shelf, and then the seats, carpet, console, whatever. In the correct order, of course. I got Robert here for the next few days, so I gotta use him, do as much as we can. I couldn't do this. This one job, this is a specialty that, this is something you cannot do at home unless you know exactly what to do. It takes time, you have to know where to cut it, you gotta make it fit, and you wanna make it look good, and you want it to last. So you need an expertise like I've been here to do this. I myself, I couldn't do this. I've never done a headliner, it is complicated, and it's very time consuming. And Ivan knows what he's doing, and he won't stop until it fits perfect. This is a very unique fit. This was designed by Creative Industries. You know what they did? I'm sure they slapped it together fast when they did it those days. You know, they had to do 392 units like this in less than a year. And besides that, after that, they told them 500 something units for 69. So that's quite a few cars to do at not an assembly plant. I don't know how big Creative Industry was and how many people were working there, but this was a lot of work. Knock it. Nice. Very nice. Did it. Ivan? Success. Great job, man. You did it. You did it. Let's take off those chalk marks and then let's show it off to the world.
With the headliner and package tray in place, the guys are feeling a lot closer to their goal today. Now they'd like to finish the interior rear window molding. It isn't the last thing for this build, but that's as far as the guys are going tonight, and they're glad to see the headliner crossed off their list.
It's been a long day. Here we are late at night. We just finished installing the headliner, which was a consuming time effort, but to do something very nice and unique, you guys take a look at all the detail work. We installed the headliner, rear speaker shelf, and the rear molding. This was a lot of work done by Ivan and Robert helping him out. We finally got it done. I was looking forward to finish this today, and we finally did. And tomorrow we're gonna start putting the dome light, the seat belts, the hanger for the hook for the hangers, whatever you want to call it. And on top of that, you look at all this detail work right here underneath the dash, so well detailed that once you install the dash, you don't see none of this at all. All that work, but then again, it's all detailed way under the dash that you don't see once the dash is in place. Anyways, you know what? I'm just so happy it's done. This was a time-consuming job, and I love the job Ivan did. You know, and you know what, it was a challenge for him because he's done a few cars, but this was a real challenge because of the Charger 500. This was a very unique, custom-made piece that Chrysler did with Creative Industries. But you know what? After all this work, Ivan has got it in place, solid, done, and perfect. There you have it. I told Eugene there's only one person for the headliner, and it's you. Because I told him he did my car, and I find nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Ivan, so after so many hours, you did a great job.
Yeah, it was a challenge, but I'm very happy with the outcome. And I gotta say, Robert was a big help.
Thank you, Robert.
And it came together. It came
I know.
together.
I know.
Eugene enjoys it, appreciates it, and hundreds of miles with. Enjoy.
And there you have it, you guys. Headliner is finally installed on the Charger 500. And it was a challenge for Ivan, but you know what? You got it done, and I had faith in you, and you did a great job. Ivan, thank you very much.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Ivan. Great job.
Beautiful, Robert. Thanks. Great.
It was great to work with the master.
I told you, man, he's the only man that I knew could do this job. You know, I couldn't do it at all. Only Ivan could have done that. And there you have it, you guys. Ivan, Robert, and I, here late at night, 9 o'clock p.m. at night. We finally got the headliner in place. And thanks for standing with us, you guys, here on Nick's Garage. And you guys don't forget to subscribe and like and share. And thanks for watching. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content, and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.